And that is where that shift began. What shifts can happen in your life when you're in your heart space and you are shining so bright? Because when you're feeling in your heart, it allows you to almost open that doorway of presence, opportunity, abundance, empowerment, and all these feelings that you're accumulating through being in your heart space will reflect outside of yourself, and it will allow you to magnify those opportunities, and it's almost you're attracting what you desire in the process of being in alignment with your heart. So I want to go through exactly what it means to be in your heart, because it's often thrown around like, yeah, be in your heart space, feel into your heart. And it's like, when I actually learned what it meant to feel into my heart space, only then did I really feel the groundedness of what that actually meant. So when we feel and actively set the intention of being in our heart space, that means feeling safe. When we create safety in our body, it reduces anxiety. When we feel safe in our environment, in our body, how we are, our presence without threat, that is almost our foundation and our ground level to be able to come into our heart space. When we think of this ground level, this is the basics that is needed for us to feel safe to be able to tap into that. So covering the basics first before you even set that intention to be in your heart space is key number one. When we then are grounded and we're in that present, we feel safe, we're secure, we're present with our bodies, only then can we set that intention to feel more around this area of our chest, to tune in, tap in, turn on to all those different feelings in our body. And this is going to be your gateway, my friends. This is where we can then open that door and open the can of worms of, okay, I'm in my heart and I'm not going back now. I'm here. I'm willing to allow life to happen outside of me whilst in my heart. And let me tell you, with this day and age, that takes sheer determination, willingness, vulnerability, and strength. So don't underestimate the power of being in your heart, but also do not underestimate the time, the practice, and the presence it takes to actively be in your heart day to day. It's very, very hard when you are living in an environment that isn't serving you or is so busy, like a city, where you can't even think for yourself or be in your body and being present. Often when people are living in cities, it's go, go, go with the mind. It activates our fight or flight response a lot more. Our adrenaline is going, and that is what kind of serves us when we're in that environment. But when we are in our heart, we need to be in a more safe, still, calm, secure environment to start off with anyway. So these keys, so those are two keys there that are going to allow you to recognize and set the foundation to being in your heart space. Then the feelings you're going to have when you're in your heart space is going to be very centered, grounded, connected. And these words, I don't want you to take lightly. I want you to feel into each one. So when you think of the word connected, what do you think that as, or feel that as a word? When you think of the word courage, how does that resonate with you? When you think of the word calm, how does that resonate with you? And understand different words and how they resonate with you to build this foundation of, okay, I'm getting familiar what it's like to be in my heart space, or understanding what that takes. Just as a side note, you can also be in your heart space around family and friends, and it's in your heart space, but it's a moment where you share with the external, with other people. This is purely practicing being in your heart space by yourself, and that is often or not a lot harder to do because you're not sharing and connecting with the outside, you're connecting with yourself. And if you haven't done this practice before, it can be very challenging. But I know you guys, you're here for a reason, you're willing, you're determined, the strength within all of you, I know you can do it. So reasons why people would want to be in their heart space over that adrenaline in their mind, because they can get more done when they're in their mind, and I get it. When you're in your mind, you're thinking about all the things you need to do, and then at the end of the day you can rest. You're not actually resting. But if we can, but the reasons why people would want to be in their heart space throughout their day is because it allows you, almost in a sense of your mind, your body and your soul, nourish and replenish in that present moment, with regardless of what you're doing. I'll repeat that again. Why people often love to be in their heart space is because in real time you are re-nourishing, you're replenishing, and you're reconnecting. All those three just from being in your heart space, and that can be in any present moment. You can choose that now. You can choose that again later when you notice you're in your mind again. You have the ability to keep choosing. We have the absolute amazing opportunity to keep choosing again and again and again. And that brings me to my next step, is when we found our reasoning, and that's our driving force and our motivation to carry on choosing again, to be in our heart space, what is it that can manifest in real time, and what is the power of being in our hearts? And I can tell you right now, there was a very big shift in my life when this happened, and I'll share a little bit, but I obviously want you to have your own experience with this. When I noticed the shift, I noticed I wasn't afraid of anything anymore externally, because I knew I was in my body regardless, and I knew at that time I was safe, I was held, and it was me taking the responsibility to own that and have myself in that moment and hold myself in that moment. And it was a huge breakthrough of, I've never held myself like this. And it's in a grounded, connected, empowering, strong way that almost led me to realize, I think I've unlocked something here that is going to allow me to manifest great things later on, because this is a skill that I have learned, and I've learned it through the presence of stillness and curiosity. So can you see how this is accumulating into where we can manifest bigger and better things in our life through the practice of our own internal world, our own self-development, our own healing, our own spiritual self? This is the key. So when I noticed and implemented and integrated this skill, I was able to manifest a career that I did not see coming. I was able to manifest my hobby into work. And I know people say, don't have your hobby as work because you're not going to have the love for it. I disagree in this. If you can disconnect your hobby and work and money and actually keep them in separate boxes and recognize that the hobby you are doing is from the place of love, curiosity and presence, and that is the reward. The reward is not, this is my work. The reward is not, this is money for me. The reward is that present moment. When we can have that and actually separate these three things, we can manifest a career, for example, we've always wanted to do or always thought about doing but never took that step. And let me tell you, when you're in your mind and you're thinking, can I take that step? Or you're experiencing procrastination, or you have self-sabotage tendencies, or you're experiencing imposter syndrome, your mind is going to stop you because it's a habit you've integrated into yourself. But when you're in your heart, you have no time to think about those things. You're in the present moment, already doing it, already connecting, already sharing that love with what you like to do. And let's shift it a little bit. It doesn't have to be with work. You can be in your heart space around family, friends, relationships, and that can accumulate into relationships you desire, healthy relationships you desire, better relationship with yourself. The same goes with your spiritual well-being, your mental well-being, your physical well-being. You can be in all different environments and still experience manifesting abundance in that present moment through being in your heart. So I want you right now, this is a task, these are questions for you to go away with. Number one, what is your deepest desire? I repeat, what is your deepest desire? Number 2, when you're in your heart, what do you feel? And when I ask this, I want you to fill in what is it I want to create, and what is it I feel in this present moment when I'm in my heart space, and what are the sensations in my body. Question 3, if I was to not experience self-sabotage, overactive mind, imposter syndrome, procrastination, anything along those lines, if none of that existed in my world, how would my day look? How would my life look? How would my month to month, week to week, year to year look? Would I get somewhere that I want to be sooner? And let me tell you a secret, and this is a huge hint, you would get it in that present moment right there. Because in that present moment, you realize you're not running to something, you're not chasing something, the goalpost does not move, because you've already achieved it in that moment in time, because that feeling and sensation of being in your heart space has already given that to you. You're already finding the pleasure, the joy, all these things in that present moment through being in that heart space. So when you're in that heart space, it does not matter outside of yourself what accumulates. You are attracting what wants to be attracted to you. You are getting what you desire, because what you desire wants you. And that is where that shift began to change for me. And I'd love for you to comment below the experiences you found with it, the experiments you've gone through, trials and errors, times where you've chosen and chosen again, anything you want to share, put it in the comments below. I want to hear you, I want to see you, I want to recognize your journey as well. So I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you got something away from this, and if you did, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. This helps me grow my channel and reaches people out there that need to hear this message. I will see you on the next video.